On today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the Mezco Toyz, Sons of Anarchy, Opie. Another member of Sam Crow, Opie comes with a knife, very similar actually to the knife that came with Jax. He does have also the same choking hazard, small parts not for children under 3 years of age. This figure is recommended for ages 15 and up. The back of the package, other figures available, there's Gemma, there's Opie, and there's a 12-inch Jax Teller. Sons of Anarchy, this is official licensed contraband. To check out more, you can go to www.mezcotoys.com and you can see the entire Mezco catalog. Spot's going to take a break, get this opened up. When we come back, however, we're going to get a better look at the Sons of Anarchy, Opie. It's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Luckily, Opie has broken the curse of figures that do not want to stand. He seems to stand, no problems whatsoever. I was a little misled, actually, when I opened up the packaging, because not only did I find one knife inside the package, but I found two. I don't know if this is a hiccup on the part of when they were packaging the figure, because the figure only has one holder on his belt to hold the knife. So not unless he holds one and he can keep the other one in his holster. As you can see, the knife fits very easily into his holster. But then again, he's got this secondary knife. This other knife is really disfigured. It's covered with this extra blob of paint wash that they've put over top of it. Not really sure if it even belonged in this figure. Maybe it just somehow it ended up in the bottom of the package, where is actually where I ended up finding it. I don't know. Put that to the side. If you guys have picked up this figure, let me know if you have two knives or one knife inside, but we'll put that to the side in the meantime. You can take the knife, by the way, and aside from him holding the knife in his holster, you can also hold the knife in his hand. This hand is a little bit more suited for holding the knife. This hand, on the other hand, looks like he should be holding a gun. I'm looking at the fact that his finger is extended out as if it's going to be latching around a trigger, but for some reason he doesn't come with a gun. So I don't know if last minute decision making, they opted not to give him a gun because they didn't want to promote guns. I don't know, even though you're promoting Sons of Anarchy. But yeah, for some reason he doesn't come with a gun, even though his hand does look like that. Figure face. Let me rephrase that. The figure's face. It looks like him, but I would think by contrast to the other two figures that we've looked at, I think Opie's face sculpt is slightly more the weakest of the bunch. He's sporting his long hair as opposed to the do-rag that he has worn in most of the episodes. At the top, it's Men of Mayhem on his vest here. Actually, it's not so much... Well, I guess it is a vest, isn't it? Because he's got the jacket underneath there. Sons of Anarchy on the other side there, Redwood Original and Charming CA on the back there, Sons of Anarchy, California. The sculpt-wise on the figure is good. He's sporting jeans, which are a little looser, getting down to the lower cuff right around the boots. I feel though, and this is one thing where I want to segue myself over to Jax. Opie by nature is taller than Jax. I feel like he could be just, maybe not that much taller, but I feel like he could be just a little bit taller though than what they ended up sculpting him at. I feel like he is just a little bit taller even still compared to Jax. A good contrast though, Jax has the white shoes, the blue t-shirts, and the vest, whereas Opie here has more everything in darker tones. Darker pants, darker vest, and jacket in contrast. They stand well though, side by side. Friends to the end. And another contrast, I'm not going to get him to properly stand. The other contrast, the other figure that we had to look at, reaching off camera, is Gemma. And there's the three figures right there. We kind of have to put Opie in the middle because he's the only figure I can actually get to properly stand. There are the three figures together. Opie, because he slightly leans forward, also distorts his height. Again, he should be a little bit taller than Gemma, but because he's kind of leaning forward, it distorts his height. Yeah, he is just a little bit taller than Gemma, but again, I feel like he could be just a little bit more after that. When it comes to his posability, Opie's head is on a ball joint and actually has the most bit of motion in in posability, I should say, than the other figures that we've looked at. The shoulders hinge out, as well as rotate all the way around. There's a rotation in the hand. A little more on the stiff side. He does have a rotation in the hand. No waist swivel, and no swivel in the feet. He's basically the same sort of brick that we've saw from Jack's Teller as well. He doesn't also, the one thing too that he's missing that Jack's had, because he had cuffs in his t-shirt, they opted to put additional posability in there. Opie, on the other hand, because he doesn't have that, he's just got one long sleeve, they give it only to his lower hands and leave this completely off for his arms, so he doesn't have arm posability though. He's a good figure, I just don't feel like he's as good as the other two. He is the weaker of the three. If you're a fan though of Sons of Anarchy, you probably are picking these figures up. I think Mezco is good with this license in their hands, just wish that they had a little bit more posability though. Today's toy spot, we were having a look at the Mezco Toyz, Sons of Anarchy. We're looking today at Opie. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more toy spots heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.